Well, good afternoon, our beloveds. What is it that keeps some of you coming back? And what is it that repels some of you to not listen anymore? We're trying. We're doing our best. Our another is showing up as best as she can. And we're here offering wisdom from the universe, from the Galapagos Islands, if you will, a place that doesn't exist in your consciousness in many ways, because if you haven't seen it, if you haven't been there, if you haven't experienced it, it's just a terminology, but nothing real. So we are here with our another because our goal is to create a different timeline for many of you where you will be more content, where you will feel greater joy and happiness, where you will find your solutions instead of solutions. We desire for you to figure out who you really are before you transition. We desire nothing more than for each person to come holistically into the experience of existence. And yet many of you are still resistant. Many of you will never listen. Many of you don't even believe in the soul. Many of you don't trust our words to be truthful, trustworthy, or even worthy of being listened to. And yet there are others of you who come and go erratically, spontaneously, who listen to some of our messages, but not all, because some draw you forth more than others. And why is that? Because while we share our messages at any given time, it is your soul's inspiration that determines when you or your ego is ready to let go of the reins a bit and to move into a different type of experience of what life can look like. When you look at our another's experience, many of you are horrified because of the torment that she has gone through, the trials that she is being challenged with, and yet she doesn't feel sorry for herself. She sometimes wonders why certain things occur in her timeline and not in others. But she also trusts that there is a purpose in this cleansing process, in this refinement. Sometimes you have to kill off parts of you in order to birth other parts. And the best analogy that we can give you is cancer. When individuals receive the gift of cancer to teach them where they are not in alignment with their body's mechanism and their soul's desires and their worries and their aches and their pains, when you are chosen to become the next victim of this experience, many of you, and we really mean many of you, choose a different path. Whether you live or whether you die is no longer relevant. It is the journey back to health, mental health, that keeps you alive and inspired and moving forward. And some of you do transition, and some of you don't. And yet this journey teaches you who you are and who you are not, and why your life matters, and why you matter, and why your well-being matters, and why your boundaries matter, and why your sense of self matters, and why your hopes and your dreams matter. It is a gift oftentimes to be blessed with Cancer because it teaches you so much about yourself that you never knew before. And when you do transition, whenever that is, you will see how these types of challenges that break you at the core force you to see life through a new prism, through a new perspective, and teaches you who is friend or foe, and who you can rely on and who you can't, and why that matters, and why your love for self is the most important aspect of this journey back to the center of you. And you will learn when you are ready to learn. And when you're not challenged or triggered or perceived to be ready. And it is okay. But, and for those of you who do wish to move forward, we will continue to post these messages for those few who really listen and who are really challenged to become a better version of themselves. Not because you desire to be perfect, but actually because you desire to accept yourself in the imperfection within which you find yourself, and finding peace and love and acceptance of your life's journey to date. And when you can find those aspects of you within this really difficult journey called life, you will realize why our another moves forward without shame and with gratitude, because we have called her forth and she has chosen this path knowingly, willingly, subjecting herself to moments that don't feel good because it teaches her more about who she really is and what matters and what doesn't, and letting go of those people or those places or those perceptions that no longer serve her. Her marriage served her for as long as it served her, and now she sees her past partner and partners for who they are. Each was brought to teach her what she is not and how she desires or deserves to be treated. And within just that simple experience, she is now capable of walking away from toxic people who originally would have harmed her within her original imprint, because she was raised to be a victim. She was raised to be a martyr in certain ways, because her life's journey was to please and appease others so that she would feel and be safe within this reality called her life. When your partner chooses to strangle you with the intention of killing you and you don't leave, what does that tell you about yourself? That you don't love yourself, that you don't value yourself, that you don't believe or trust in a universe that's here to keep you safe. And now she has learned that lesson, and that is why her another is no longer with her, because she rejected that paradigm, that belief system energetically, and in doing that, it forced a long-term partner out of her life by his own choosing, because he no longer wanted what she had to offer, because all of a sudden she had an opinion and a mouth and a perspective where she said, this no longer feels good. and I don't want to be treated like this. And when you say that over and over and over again with absolute firmness in your voice and in your incantation, it becomes your truth and your reality. And you begin to attract different experiences, different moments, different challenges to see, well, how do you prefer this? Is this acceptable or still not good enough? And you get to choose every day whether or not you wish to continue on a particular journey. To see those who struggle doesn't mean that they are being punished by God because they are bad or have done something that has cast them out of the eye of the beloved. Sometimes it is simply to see, are you worthy? Are you willing to trust in the journey that we have set out for you because we wish to refine you into a shinier version of you? One that is willing to rub off, scrub off, sand off, rip off, or tear off all of those aspects of you that no longer serve your life's purpose or journey. And when you're willing to do this, truly willing to pull off and let go of everything that no longer serves you, to leave behind your mammon because it is the safety and the security that keeps you in bondage, then and only then can we use you for our greatest purpose, which is to trust that you will put the universe's needs and your soul's needs before your safety and security, in the sense that you are willing to live vicariously through an energetic imprint that will challenge you and move you and design you to be a warrior of sorts and a lover of the soul of sorts. And becoming you was never meant to be easy. It is your greatest masterpiece that you get to create, and you get to challenge yourself on what this looks like. It is not meant to be easy to find yourself. You are meant to dig through the rubbish, through the trash, through the junk, through the individuals who don't honor you, who are here to use you and manipulate you and to harm you and take advantage of you. But you cannot walk away from that which feels unsafe until you are willing to walk away from that which feels unsafe. You were taught to mirror safety and security at all costs. And this means that you are willing to be in relationship with toxic people because somehow you believe that they will create a financial or a safety net for you, some kind of a benefit, where you think that it is worth it to lose your soul in order to be safe and secure. But in doing that, you do not have safety and security. You will lose that, and you have also given up your soul's inspiration for what feels true, authentic, and honest with integrity. You're beginning to see that being called forth for our journey does demand incessant servitude for the collective beyond what you have been taught by man's schooling, which is self before all, to climb or claw your way to the top of the dog pile, making all the money, having all the glory, all of the fame. But at what cost? When you're all alone and you didn't build it with integrity and love, most importantly, you will find that your dog pile that you are on top of really does smell like shit and doesn't offer you the safety, the security, nor even the belief in yourself that you thought that it would. Giving up on yourself and your need to win, and instead surrendering to what your soul has in store, that is where you will find true contentment and commitment to a path that few travel. And there's a reason why. Because it does demand great challenges, great sacrifices, great commitments that most are not willing to make, because it is an unseen world that you are glorifying, which hasn't been validated by anything or anyone other than possibly your own mind and a few other crazy people in the world who tell you that manifestation is a real thing, that universal laws are really there, and that your soul came to make a difference in your own life by living in your most authentic and vulnerable way. We see you for who you are, but you continue to hide behind a facade because you're not ready. But just remember, the emperor wears no clothes and yet pretends to be a king. Which do you prefer, illusion or reality? Find yourself in this crazy journey called your life, and you won't regret it, even if the outside world thinks that it looks a little challenging and difficult. But refinement being burnished by the flames of the fire causes some discomfort, but also burns off that which no longer serves you. And you will be pleased by the results at the time that your transition comes around, because you will be authentically you in the most honest and integrous manner, because you will have chosen your path based on what feels right and good, and not based on what offers safety, security, or financial prosperity. It's all in the eyes of the beholder, and we see you for who you really are, and we encourage you to break through when you're ready, when you believe in yourself enough to step outside of the paradigm which has kept you safe up to now, but no longer preserves your flame, your moments of gratitude, or even why you came to exist in the first place. Believe in yourself and in your journey, and all will feel right in your own heart and in your head. And so it is. Namaste.